What's going on, ladies, gentlemen, fellow mutants? We are back. Three brothers, two brothers, one brother, and a shot of milk. As Jack Walker Pearson, I am your host, Richard. I'm sorry, Richard. Why don't I get my full government out? Rich, the critical one, and we are here talking superheroes, comic books, video games, anime, and so much more. I think I got that right. Did I get that right?
TV.
TV. We got throw the TV in there too. We're here. We're in it. We're live. Sorry about the delay. We've been having an issue here. Just things have been changing, and I don't like change. All right, they change and it don't look good. But anyway, never mind all that. Jack, how you doing? How you been? How's your week been?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. I haven't watched a lot of content. I ended up watching Alien Romulus a second time.
Okay.
I caught it in the IMAX, and I don't think the IMAX is a superior viewing experience anymore. I
Really?
just don't. It's definitely a bigger screen. That's
Right.
true, but they don't have the reclining chairs, man, and
Yeah.
the Dolby and the Prime and any of those seats that just dip you back and let you put your feet up and enjoy the ride for. And some of these movies are long nowadays, so you really
Oh yeah.
want the comfy seats. So I went and watched that a second time.
Okay.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's a solid film. I mean, it's not without some problems, but it's
Right.
a really solid film. You know.
Right. And I was thinking about that before. So, cut you off real quick. Well, I was thinking about why I had my rating the way it was, and there was a few things. One of the things was the end and how she, well, not to, no, give it away for it, but just pretty much the end part, what and how she survived. I was like, maybe she should have died.
Well, maybe they all should have died. I
Yeah.
mean, it's an alien movie, but it's a solid film, man. So I enjoyed that. I didn't really have time to watch anything else this week. Obviously, we're gonna be talking about Rick and Morty's anime extravaganza this
Yeah.
show later in the show. I watched that. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. We will.
And
Yeah.
the only other thing worth noting is I beat Cat Quest 3.
Oh, okay.
I'm on my second playthrough.
Now, do you get anything for like the end game? Does it change? What's happening?
You get to carry over all your stuff, and the bad guys become harder.
Okay. All right.
Which, yeah,
All right. All right.
but I'm enjoying it, man. Cat Quest, it's it's like a Zelda type game, and there's few of those out there.
Yeah. Listen, as long as you're enjoying the game, that's all that really matters, right?
How about you? How's your week been?
Oh, my week, just work. Again, figuring out life. What I've been watching? What have I been watching? Nothing really. I started watching Fear the Walking Dead, or rewatching
Oh,
it, I should say.
yeah.
And as much as I love the zombie genre, it's just you get kind of tired of the old slow walking shamblers just overpowering. Like realistically speaking, there's absolutely no way the world will go to hell because of slow walking zombies. Not unless everyone's just stupid. Like it just how does that work? Like you know what I mean? They're too slow. They don't think.
Shaun of the Dead, they got their stuff together and
Yeah,
took over.
exactly. Like at a certain point, like there's going to be some chaos, but at some point we're going to get our stuff together and be like, okay, listen, these things don't think, they move really slow. Let's get on the ball right now. But yeah, so looked at that. What else? I think I watched. Did I watch any anime? I don't think I watched any anime except for Rick and Morty. Oh, I did. I got caught up with Kite Man, and man, I don't remember. I think that's it. I did. Oh, jumped on yesterday. Did a little impromptu
Oh yeah,
stream
I
with
watched some of
Cyberpunk.
that.
Yeah, a little the Cyberpunk Liberty, no Phantom Liberty, excuse me. Because my brother bought it, so if he got it, I got it, and I was like, let me get into this and let me stream this. Why not, right? So got on there, had a little nice conversation with everyone. Just talking about this, that, and the third. Everyone enjoyed the gameplay, so I think I'm gonna make that a regular thing. Um, and that's it, man. I mean, a little Call of Duty here and there, That's really it. I don't think I touched Diablo. Anyway, but that's
My
it.
brother was razzing me. He watched Lawrence's unboxing of his Robin figure,
Yeah.
and he was like, I guess you don't watch a lot of the toy reviews, but he said Lawrence is a little handsy on Robin's midsection.
Yeah. Oh no. That
Uh,
that is
I
right.
will say, I've kind of noticed it too. It's you start like checking the diaper section. He's got like
Like looking at the glutes there, man. The
oh
padding,
man,
you know.
I was dying. I was dying.
I
My
mean, I was
brother
a
was
little.
like,
Uh,
he's like, you need to talk to Lawrence about
yeah.
that.
I'm not even gonna lie. When I opened up the Lobo, I was sitting there doing splits with him and checking out the booty too. And I'm like, it's like a little rubbery. It's rubbery, you know.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Anyway,
soft.
let's check out these comments real quick. We got ETC in the house. What's going on? Hercules,
ETC.
Hercules. Good seeing Rich. That was good gameplay. I mean, it was all right. I was because they did a lot of changes in because I haven't played that game in like 2 years, so they did a lot of changes, and I had to get used to it, and I had to respect my character and everything. But yeah, it was good. I'm gonna continue that. We got Babaton 123. I don't know.
Hey, from Twitch.
Yeah, welcome in, welcome in. I don't know what this is. Is that someone else? I have no idea what that is. Got ETC again. Jack, have you added that cyborg? Have you to
I
the mural?
haven't. It,
You
I
haven't
have.
yet.
I haven't. So it's just been a really busy week. But by this time next week, I hope to be able to answer that question differently. ETC. I really do.
All right, all right. We're gonna hold you to it. If the zombies were like Zack Snyder's, oh yeah, if the zombies were
Hey,
like Zack
yo.
Snyder's, then we talking different stories. If they were runners, yes, absolutely, the world will 100% go to hell, like just done. Got Connie Alaska. Oh my! I don't know if that was for the comment for the zombies.
No,
Eh,
she's talking about the diaper, man.
oh, the diaper. Yeah, I mean, listen, some of these characters got the got the yamage back there. You know, they packing, they stacking. Anyway, yeah. It's like, can you blame Lawrence? Robin has a swimmer's body. He
Hey,
listen,
yo.
he's an athlete. He's an athlete. You know.
He's a gymnast for sure.
Yeah. Oh, but listen, I got a joke for you real quick. Let me ask you that. What happened when Iron Man teamed up with Silver Surfer?
I don't know what happened.
Hmm. They became alloys. And moving right along,
Hey, yo.
we are gonna blow past the stop sign, make a left at the Guzzles, go past Pepe's, which is no longer there. May you rest in peace. And we're gonna arrive at the Collector's Corner.
It's show and tell time.
But I'm like, I don't
Is,
have a button for that.
is that what that was?
Yeah.
He goes,
Here,
okay, I got you. I got you. I got you.
here, here,
I saw you up there.
here at the Collector's Corner, we go into our toy chest, our shelves, our 3D printers, and sometimes we just go to the store and get something brand new, and we show what it is that makes us collectors.
Sure,
I
that
riffed it
works.
on that one. Jack, what you got for us?
All right, I got two things. I got one thing for me and one thing for you,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
It's not for you, but it's for you. All right, so I got this Wolverine,
Oh, nice.
and it's a pop pin. So it's popping.
Oh, it's that big pin.
Yeah.
All
And
right,
so this is
nice.
your retro Wolverine with the whiskers,
Yeah.
your original style. And actually these pop pins are kind of cool. You got this rogue figure, which I thought was really cool. Oh, I gotta take the fuzz off.
Take off the
I
fuzz.
gotta take that. I don't even remember how to do that.
Go in the virtual background.
Settings, virtual backgrounds, and take that off for a second. All right.
There you go.
Cool. All right. So see these other figures I thought were pretty cool.
Nice, nice.
But they didn't have this. I got this at the Krusty Bunkers going
Uh,
away permanent sell, and
uh,
I paid almost nothing for it. So I was like, cool.
hey,
So that one's for
nice.
me, and this is for you, Rich. You might like this.
Hey.
This is Cable and Deadpool, and what's significant about this particular comic, this is Cable and Deadpool number 2, and I'll show you what's fun about it. Maybe you
Oh,
already know this.
he's fingering it. Let's go.
He's fingering it. You might already know this story. This is one of the first Deadpool comics Ryan Reynolds read, and he read this back when he was in Blade. And what it says here in the comic is, it's right here. I don't know, is that backwards or can you read it?
Let me get closer. Man, that's small. Hold on. Let me expand my window. There we go. There's backwards too. Hey, if you looked like Ryan Reynolds, crossed with
Sharpay.
Sharpay,
Yeah.
you'd what the hell is that? Understand.
So the
I can
first
read
Dead
backwards, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
so the first Deadpool comic book Ryan Reynolds reads actually has Deadpool saying he looks like a cross between Ryan Reynolds and a Sharpay.
That's pretty nice.
And so this particular comic is one big reason why Ryan Reynolds got obsessed with the character. He said he couldn't believe it. He said, "What were the odds that this guy gave me a stack of Deadpool comics, and the first one I pick out of the stack to read is Deadpool saying he looks like me."
Yeah. All right. That's pretty nice. That's pretty
Yeah.
nice. That's pretty dope stuff. All right. All right. Moving on to me. You know I gotta just go to the shelf, go to the stack over
He's
there, and
going to the stack.
I already pulled some out at the beginning here because I was like they're at the bottom. I had to move some things around, but we're gonna pull out the old father and son duo and Todoroki, the 372, my hero. He's all flamed up. I realize I got two of these. So
Man, he
one is
looks half. What is going on with half his face?
his father, his mother and father, right? Because they get genes from their parents. So his mother has
Oh,
ice powers. His father
that's right.
has
That's
fire
his
powers.
character.
So
Right,
he's
right,
like
right.
split down the middle. So half of his body can produce ice powers, and the other half produces fire.
Wouldn't he just turn into steam?
Well, he had to learn to. I mean, if you watch the series, he had to learn to control his powers, and he was favoring more his ice powers when he first came in, and then he decided to get more onto his the fire, and then combine to get stronger and produce more moves. And then you got Endeavor, Pop 785, who is his father, and he is now currently the number one hero, but for a long time he was number two, right behind All Might. And this dude actually has more weight. He is hefty. He's a hefty boy.
He's a
But
hefty hero.
yeah, he's a hefty hero. He got the flame around his face. He turns the fire into his mask and also his beard and many other parts too. I also got the McFarlane version of him up there, back
Oh,
over there, right there. So yeah, so those are my two show and tells for the day. They're not special. They're not rare. They're not pops or not pop chase, but they're dope. They're dope. In
yeah.
conclusion, on my stuff, on my collection, and stuff. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's Collector's Corner. That was good stuff, man. If only we had more people here to show us things.
Who needs it?
Anyway, on to the news. I probably should have did this one, right?
Job breaking news.
It's time for the news.
But first, hold on. And I probably should be doing that. Do any of you guys have any Green Lantern figures from Randall movies? I don't think so. No, no, I don't have any. Did they make them?
Mm-mm.
They had to have made them, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if they would be worth anything now that he's. Nah, probably not. Yeah. Anyway, let's move
Wasn't
on.
able to. So you have the Ryan Reynolds Hal Jordan figure, is what ETC said.
Yeah, he said. He only has the Ryan Reynolds Hal Jordans. He wasn't able to find any of the others. Hmm. Did they make any more?
Well, you'd assume you'd have gotten the villain, right? So you would have gotten Sinestro. I don't remember seeing those toys at all.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, yeah,
What did
not
I
even.
say?
I mean, you be saying things.
Wait, what did I say? What are you going to tell on me for? Go on, tell him. I don't even know what you're going to tell me for, though. Chris.
Listen.
Oh,
Uh,
I know what you said you're going to tell me for. Who needs him?
uh,
Yeah, go
uh,
on. I'll tell him. I'll tell him myself. Save you the trouble.
so co-writer for Batman Part Two. I'm sorry, the Batman Part Two. Let's get that right.
Right.
It's got some exciting update on the upcoming film. Matt Reeves is speaking of Screen Rant, even though this is not Screen Rant, who was an unaccredited writer for the original The Batman and is a co-writer for the sequel. Tease the upcoming sequel of 2022's The Batman is set to begin filming next year. Okay,
Next year.
that's not really good
It's like
news. I wanted something better than that, man. Like it's coming out tomorrow, right?
well, they haven't even started filming it.
I mean, maybe they were secretly filming and it's like, hey, guess what? Surprise, we got a thing for y'all next week. Shut up, Jack. I can't stand your logic.
Yep.
Anyway, um, according to Robert Downey Jr., Tobey Maguire convinced him to play Iron Man. Oh, excuse me. Oh no, it's Jack's
And we
logic
lost.
creeping up my throat. Pause.
We lost Rich. I have a question. Was the parallax from the movie based off of Ryan Reynolds' look? Oh, what
I
the
mean,
hell is this?
it's from the movie. What you should be, right?
Well, in theory, these toys are. Oh, these toys are interesting.
Really?
Sorry, I got distracted. I'm checking out the Green Lantern figures from the movie. They're about as good as the movie. And this parallax is something special. Okay, sorry. You said Tobey Maguire is the reason why Robert Downey Jr. did Iron Man. Well,
Right. As we all know, he was experiencing several personal issues in life in casting and everything like that. And, he ended up silencing the critics with a masterful and comic book accurate performance of Tony Stark. So, I mean, yeah, I don't even think that's really news. Where's my other thing? Oh, you're going to like this one. If I can find there we go. James Gunn.
yeah.
All right. James Gunn shares the first official look of Jimmy Olsen. And no, it's not who you think it is. Oh, no. I make that one bigger. There it is. It is Skylar Gizondos, if I said that name right.
I think he's actually pretty good casting for the part. Kid's good. I like him in pretty much everything I've seen him in. And he's kind of that kind of traditional Jimmy Olsen quality about him. I mean, he's no Leo.
He's no Leo. Yeah, but I mean, he definitely has the kind of I don't know, I don't want to say lackluster. I don't want to insult the guy, but he has that kind of just meh look about him. If that makes sense.
He's the kid next door, man. He's the neighbor.
Yeah,
It's just Jimmy Olsen.
it's like
He's
he's
Superman's
there.
best friend.
Sometimes you
He's
may
a
forget he's there, but he's there, and then he'll be there when he's like, "Hey, I'll do the thing for you," and
he's
runs
like
off and does it.
a big-hearted, good-natured guy that constantly putting himself in harm's way.
Yeah.
Not necessarily intentionally.
Yes. Deadpool and Wolverine makes his way back to the number one spot and passes 1.2 billion worldwide. But The Crow, which maybe we should have been talking about,
And
flopped down to number 8.
I think it's probably better we didn't talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah. The Crow wasn't looking that great. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I'm gonna be listen. Y'all probably gonna hate me for this, but I really don't remember. I watched The Crow. I know I watched The Crow. I just don't remember The Crow like that. I think I may have watched it one time, and I was barely paying attention to the thing. And then I tried to
Uh,
watch two.
the Crow was pretty fun. I haven't watched it again, so
Mm,
I couldn't speak to the nature of whether I honestly think it holds up.
mm.
But I remember when I watched it back in the day, that movie was sick. I mean, that movie was everything. But again, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it in a long time. It's not my go-to rotations.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are just certain movies that you always have in the rotation. One of those things for me is Aliens. I know that Lawrence hates it, but I don't care.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Uh,
whoa!
he,
ETC dropping bombs here.
what do you say?
He just said James Gunn's Superman looks bad. I'm not going to the theaters for this one. I'll just wait for it to come out on demand. And that's hard to say because I'm a big Superman fan. I don't know if it. It might be too early to say it looks bad. I mean, it looks like they're putting the whole world in there. That's for sure. And the costume choices are choices, and that's for sure. But etc, you know that by not going to the movie, it means we're not. It's a good chance we're not going to get a follow up.
I don't think he minds that if he doesn't like it.
Well,
And yeah, anyone's a Crow
oh,
fan. Choose.
you saw the Crow. etc, you
Mm,
saw the Crow. You're saying it's not good from.
yeah, I mean,
I guess that means he saw the movie.
that seems to be a tradition now. That's what was the other movie that came out? Borderlands. Even if you're not a fan of
Oh, did that
Borderlands,
come out already?
yeah, that came out and bombed hard.
Probably because no one knew it came out. I might have went and checked it.
No, the people knew it came out. They were advertising it like crazy. Maybe
Oh,
I'm not on your feed because you don't look at that. So,
I
but yeah,
work a lot these days.
and you
Yeah.
work a lot. Yes,
Between that
yes.
and Cat's Quest,
Cat's
it's
Quest.
not a lot of
Yes.
free time. I'm still
Uh,
trying to unpack boxes. If I'm being honest.
hey, sometimes you might need to take a couple of days off to go do that. Like, you know, I don't know if you got any PTO. But yeah, more Deadpool Wolverine. Director Sean Levy reveals alternate ending and deleted scenes, which means I am 100% getting the DVD.
Mm-hmm.
With Deadpool Corp.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
you.
they had all these concept images floating around about some of the other Deadpools they were bringing into that final fight that never made it.
Mm, I mean, they got a concept in. Well, I'm not sure if it's a concept image, but you got Peter and Kid Deadpool kind of sitting on the couch, and Kid
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool's pointing at him. Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, one of the DVD, another DVD that I absolutely going to have in my collection and will be watching it nonstop until it wears out. Maybe not even. I probably won't even watch a DVD. Let me take that back. I'm not going to watch a DVD. I'm just going to have it so it's in my collection, and I'm just going to
You're
watch
gonna
it
watch it.
the on demand version. No, I'm gonna watch the on demand. I'm gonna buy it digitally as well, like that, because I'm a horror like that.
But can you watch special features if you don't have
No, you
the
can't.
thing?
Yeah, no, they don't. Well, no, let me take it back. Depends. Sometimes they pull out just the DVD or the on demand or the digital version, and then they'll have like the digital special release, and then they'll have all the extra stuff on it, like the extended cuts and all that crap. Uh, and where are the rest of my news? There you go. James Spader may have an unexpected role as Ultron in the upcoming WandaVision sequel. First of all,
Yeah,
why
I
is
hear
there a
they're actually
WandaVision
bringing them
sequel?
back.
Yeah, like,
Well, it's not WandaVision. It's they're gonna follow Vision.
oh, okay.
Yeah, the
So,
WandaVision series. The next iteration of it is supposed to be following Vision, and they're saying James Spader is coming back to voice probably Ultron
so shouldn't it be Vision or
or
Wanda
Vision
Vision?
Quest.
Vision Quest.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. And that's all the news that I have.
Well, I think we should talk about one bit of thing that popped this week.
What's that?
And we should watch the trailer while we talk about it if you can pull it up. Just turn the volume off. It's what is it called? Secret Levels. It's it's an anime it's an anthology series that's coming to Amazon. It's by the creators of Love Death Robots. And what the series is about is, let me pull this up so I speak accurately. My brother sent me a link to the trailer, and I was like just totally blown away by it. So it's an anthology series by the creators of Love Death Robots, being produced by Amazon Studios, and it's inspired by the story of 15 video games. And so you're getting anthology series based off these video games. Some of them I never played these games. Armored Core. Do you find it?
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, let it play. Let the visual play, and I'll just read what games season one is going to be inspired by.
Okay. Actually, put you here.
He's putting it on the screen. Here we
Here
go.
we go.
Give it. Go ahead, and make it as big as it wants to be, big as it can be, so we can see this thing.
As big as it's going to be. Hold on, maybe later.
If you just go to solo or
I don't think it's the way I put it up there. I keep
all right,
talking about it.
all right, go ahead, play it. All right, so this thing, and then chime in if you know some of these games, Rich.
Okay.
Yo, this thing looks sick. So Armor Core, Concord,
Everyone knows Armored Core. Yeah. If you're into mech games,
e-
yeah.
exactly. Crossfire, Dungeons of Dragons,
Yes.
Exodus,
Okay. Yes.
Honor of Kings,
Okay.
Mega Man, which I'm
Yeah.
excited to see Mega Man in this kind of animation style.
Yeah.
New World, not sure what that one is. Pac Man, PlayStation, and they're going to be highlighting various games from the studio. So that's where we're getting like God of War characters in there.
Okay.
Sifu,
All right.
Spelunky,
Seen
Spelunky,
some Warhammer there too as well.
Warhammer 40,000, yeah. Unreal Tournament and The Outer Worlds. So this series looks
Yeah, there they are. Yeah. It's looking good.
sick, dude. This thing looks sick. And I think it's actually dropping in December, or it's definitely dropping December. There
December
you go,
10th. There
December
it
10th.
is.
So I tell you what I'm looking forward to probably reviewing uh in December is that.
Yeah. Definitely get into that. All right. Yeah. Definitely get. In fact, speaking of Warhammer, that second the sequel's coming out, if I'm not mistaken. Warhammer 2, Space Marines.
Is Cavill still looking at it?
I'm not sure if he's. I don't know. I don't know if he's looking to make that game or the show still, but the game is coming out. Let's get a release date on that. September 9th. So right around the
Oh,
corner.
oh, that's yeah, literally around the corner.
Yeah. So
TC says the Borderlands movie was PG-13, where the game was obviously mature.
yes,
Yeah, why would they make it PG? I guess they're trying to open it to the audience, but you're opening it to an audience that wasn't playing the game in the first place.
exactly. Like it doesn't make sense.
and it pushed certain viewpoints. This is just sticking to the source material. Well, that's never good. And all the actors look like they didn't want to be there.
That's what I was heard. I
Oh
was.
man.
It looked like they were just phoning it in. They were like, yo, they got to check, and they were kind of just going through the paces, and it was just
Uh,
bad acting or bad choices all around.
did you see it?
I did not. I was not going to see it. Once I saw the cast, I was like, "There's no, I wasn't." And the trailer was uninspiring. There was a thing where they opened up the hatch, and it was like you saw someone from the set in the back of the hatch. You saw their hand or their arm back there opening up the hatch for them, and I'm like,
No.
"How? Yes, yes." And I was like, how do you on your trailer? This is your trailer that you're putting out. You're supposed to make this thing look, shiny and great to everyone, and you're putting mistakes like that in the trailer. Imagine, nah. And I just heard like the cut of it, like it was just all over the place, and it just didn't make any sense. So I'm like, I'm not going to waste my money on this. I'll just wait for it to come out on the streamer, and then I'll hate watch it there because I I like Borderlands. Like I like playing Borderlands. Even 3 wasn't that great as the rest, but I still jump on 3 just to get that that little shooter looter itch to be scratched, and that's it. Like they really jacked it up. I was like, nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. But yeah, man, where we at?
Shooter looter.
Shooter looter.
And that
Exactly.
was the news.
Yes, that was the news. Listen, we are just while we're talking about just disappointments of video game movies and just video games and shows and so on and so forth. I have a discussion. It might be quick. I mean, how do you feel that these studios, writers, directors, and whoever else may be to blame, consultant companies, do you feel like they just want to, I don't know, push an agenda upon us or just, as I like to say, squat on the plate and expect us not to eat the duty?
And you want my real opinion?
Yeah, I want your real opinion. That's that's
I
that's what I'm here for.
I think it's all about money. I don't think most corporations actually care whether it's politically correct or good for the environment or anything like that. I think it's about dollar bills. And if dollar bills come when they put on airs about caring about certain agendas or peoples or way of life, then that's what's going to get pushed to the masses. But in the second that stops making money, they'll push something else.
Okay. Well, I partly agree with you on that one. Like, yes, I do agree that it's about money, but also at the same time, if it's really about money, why don't you just give the people what they want in the thing that you're pushing to us? Especially if it has such a big fan base. Why are you trying to change, or why are you allowing all these changes to happen within it that the fans don't want anything about? The people that are actually going to go out there and spend the money, why aren't you catering to them rather than catering to this small demographic and you're trying to pull a new audience?
Well, because the loudest voice is often the small demographic, you know, in a lot of cases.
I mean, true, but also they're not spending the money. They're not spending the money, and they're not watching the thing, which is why these things are failing.
I also believe that in most cases, people are putting out content that they believe is, in a lot of cases, good. You know, like I don't think anyone's actively trying to put out trash, although it does happen a lot. And I know that's hard to believe. You know, it's like, did you know the Acolyte is canceled after its first season? And
Yes.
albeit maybe not a great series, but the Acolyte had one of the best villains we've seen in Star Wars in decades.
Who?
The villain in Acolyte, he was great. The
What's his
fighting
name?
and the combat, yeah.
No, 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 not yeah. That's not his name. What is
You
his
didn't
name?
you didn't think he was a good villain?
No, I'm asking you. What is
Oh,
the villain's
I gotta
name?
look it up. I gotta look his name up.
Yeah, as if he's so good, you should know his name.
You didn't think that he was a good villain in the
I didn't.
Star
I
Wars
didn't.
series?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't watch him, so I couldn't tell you. All I saw him when he was trying to be the drug dealer, the apothecary, and act like he's not part of the grand scheme of things. And after that, I couldn't watch it after that. I stopped. I'm like,
So
dude,
you didn't see the finale, the last two episodes.
I did see the fight scene, and
The fight scenes are sick.
that fight scene between him and Saul. Okay, I'll give it to you. I'll grant it. It was a good fight scene, but then after that, when just what's her name, the bad twin or the good twin, don't even know at this point now, when she just pops up out of nowhere and just starts, after not having her powers or not knowing how to use the force or forgotten how to use the force, now all of a sudden she's a force user and she's
Yeah.
like in depth with it, and she's like bleeding crystals without even touching. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
What are we talking about?
No, you got me there. You got me on all that. I'm just saying, I don't think the content was better or worse than other content that is getting another season.
But also, with that being said, you didn't even watch it all. You watched snippets of it.
Well, I watched episodes. I watched I waited. Listen, you're right. I did
Uh-huh.
not watch 100% of the content, but I did watch 50% of the content,
Are you
and
sure about that?
I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset about what I saw. And maybe that's what everyone else should have done. They should have just like cherry picked the stuff that was really rising to the top of the surface, because the cream was on the top, man. It
Well,
was
that's one of the problems with it, though. That was one of the, at least I believe, one of the reasons why they canceled it, or they're not going on with a season two, is because people weren't tuning in to watch the thing. And like you said, the loudest voices that got heard, but also the loudest voices aren't watching it. So you can sit there and rah all you want about a thing, but if you're not there to actually support it, like, no disrespect, the WNBA, everyone talks about the WNBA and this, that, and the third, but how come y'all not buying tickets to go watch the games in your cities? Y'all can't even name the team in your city, but yeah, you talk about how great it is, but you don't watch it.
yeah.
If you don't support the thing, then guess what? It's not gonna come back. It's not gonna be supported by the companies that are putting it out there.
Well, that's kind of etc. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Like the Superman movie is like, when we don't support content, they tend to not give us the content. Although when the content's bad, I can understand why we want to not necessarily support it. But what we're not looking to do is have the content necessarily discontinued. But it's got. But look at the the Deadpool Wolverine movie.
Okay.
This actually wasn't a good script. Wasn't like
No.
a good film, but it was a fun film. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the movie. I've seen it twice. It
And
was
that's the thing, though. That's the thing. If you're going to make something when the script is shaky, right? At least make it entertaining so we can forget that the script doesn't make sense.
right.
And you got to do that pretty much all the way through. Like, so,
But I'll
for
say
example,
this:
the Acolyte. If they had dope fight scenes, then they should have been putting fight scenes in every one of these episodes, because that script was shaky. Not even shaky. It was full of holes.
I give you that. I give you that. That's budget. That's budget. You need budget. Bigger fights, more time, more
They had a
budget.
huge budget. What are you
You're
talking
right.
about?
You're right. Are you? Well, listen. Are you excited? I think Lord of the Rings season 2 drops this week.
Are you excited for what?
Well, I'm probably gonna watch it. Listen, I'm gonna watch it. Let's not lie. I because I did watch the last season, and it is my content. Although, I mean, I told you this before. Like a couple weeks went by after the last episode, and I was still waiting for the last episode to drop.
Mm.
And then it had dawned on me that I'd already seen it, and I was like, "Oh, that was how it ended. That was the season finale. Okay, yeah, all right. I guess it was season finale. It just didn't land for some reason. I think, the other thing that's hard about that is they don't actually have certain rights to the story they maybe want to tell, but they just want to tell a story, and they're telling a story. Yo, have you seen the trailer for the Lord of the Rings anime?
I did not know.
I think it's anime. It looks, I mean, it's definitely animated.
Huh.
But the image quality, pop that trailer on. It looks awesome. That's also dropping in December, I think, but it's produced by Peter Jackson and the team from the original series of films, and they
2024.
have, they have the rights to use that story however they want. So they're telling the actual
Coming out
story.
on December 13th.
I'll read some of the comments where you're pulling that up. ETC says, "Amen, Rich. Amen." I don't know. The last 10, 15 years of Hollywood movies Hollywood's been putting out have been pretty bad, with glimpses of hope. Yeah, I mean, cinema as we know really took a shift when we went comic book crazy. And what's funny about, obviously, I'm a huge comic book fan, and the characters and these worlds I grew up in, but cinema has definitely shifted to major tentpole movies, and it's all been chasing the buck, and that's why we're getting more and more video game movies now. Video games have some of the best stories out there, and so now we're getting video game movies. Yo, what's going on here?
Let's see if I can get this right.
ETC says Deadpool 1, good. Deadpool 2, crap. Deadpool Wolverine, good. Yeah, I mean, a lot of movies that have a bad sequel tend to have a good third. A lot of movies that have a good sequel tend to have a bad third. Personally, I feel like Deadpool movie, you can skip 2, just watch 1 and 3. Yeah, that's not necessarily probably inaccurate either. Of course, you would miss you'd be missing the Brad Pitt cameo in the second one. JWP in the house. AI has taken over cinema. Well, speaking of AI, man, have you been watching? When did you jump on JWP? Did you see the earlier trailer? Because I'm pretty sure some of that's definitely AI, and it looks
But
fantastic.
aren't some of these stars kind of embracing the AI and like kind of signing their rights
Well,
to?
it's how you're gonna make money. You gotta adapt.
Yeah.
You either sign the contracts that say "leave me alone when I'm dead," or you sign the contracts that give you money in your life that say "go on, use my likeness long after I'm gone." I mean, how long before we just get a young Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the Terminator movie? It's gonna happen, and we're all gonna want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. All right, here's this trailer right here. So right at the beginning here, they're showing the past movies,
Peter Jackson
snippets of the past
presents
movies.
groundbreaking AI technology. No, I think this is mostly drawn. Back to Middle Earth, where we open large doors,
Now we get
see
animated.
things through the eyes of birds. Here we go. Here's the animation style. So this Lord of the Rings looks pretty sick, Rich. I mean, this looks like this looks like content I would watch.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I believe this is like a prequel.
It's the War of Rohan or something like that. I think.
Yeah.
It's one of the big wars. This guy's basically saying, "You killed my father. Prepare to die." And that guy's saying, she's saying, "Don't start trouble." And he's like, "I'm gonna start trouble." And he's like, "Look at all these rings." And that big guy just wants to punch someone. And so he does. That's why he took his rings off. He's a gentleman.
He's a gentleman. You can't fight
Ooh,
with
but the
him.
king's got knocks. You know what a king's got. Oh, he killed him too. That was his father. You bastard! You killed. Oh, is it actually reading it down there? Oh yeah.
Is it? Oh, it
I've
is.
been messing it up the whole time. Nah, who knew? Who knew it was there the whole time? Whatever.
Okay.
You got the big elephant, the lady on the horse. Now,
Yeah.
you're gonna have your female heroine warrior in this.
Obviously.
Obviously, the people need hope, something to believe in, like big birds.
The
Big bird.
Eagles.
That's a
Oh.
big bird.
Oh, what?
It looked like a kraken
Kraken
or
with a
like
tree on his head.
a gula. She's got the conch shell. Yo,
Lies.
who's
Yeah.
you?
Is that a wedding dress?
Yeah, she was probably gonna marry that giant elephant, the Lord of the Rings. So this thing looks pretty. I'm pretty excited about that, and I don't mind having some bad content in between good content. And this is going to be in the theaters. Oh, it's going to be in theaters. It's a theatrical release, man.
Nice. Yeah.
That's
I
not
rock
bad.
that.
Hey, Corey Pearson in the house. Where have you been? Is that a Bible cartoon? He asks.
But it does
Yeah,
look Bible-ish, yeah.
that's good. That's Lord of the Rings, man. Lord of the Rings. I'm excited to see that in the theaters, actually. But you know what? I'm excited. Like I like seeing the Ghibli films in theaters. I like seeing cartoons in theaters, and I feel like a lot of people aren't really seeing anything other than like Disney, Pixar stuff in theaters. So it's nice when you got some of these other animated things in the houses.
Oh yeah.
You guys heard or seen the video YouTube? JRR Token repeats the story of when someone asked him why they just didn't use the eagle in the mountain. It's pretty
I
funny.
mean,
It's a good question. A really good question, actually.
yeah, that would have saved the whole trip.
And in the end, JR just told the guy, "Shut up." Yeah, plot hole. It's like why didn't Superman in the Zack Snyder Man of Steel movie just go talk to his Jor-El hologram figure instead of some priest when Zod showed up? It just make no sense. Plot hole. Jack loves him some bad
Why didn't
content.
he save? Why didn't he save his father?
Well, well, in the movie when when Zod shows up and his and Jor-El had just told him there was this intergalactic, the guy Zod who basically was responsible for this and that bad dude. Zod shows up and then Superman goes talk to a priest instead of going back to his dad and going, "Hey, that guy you were just telling me about, actually he's on my planet now."
It's like, oh really? Better
Like
get up out of there.
like what? And then it isn't until Lois Lane talks to Jor-El and Jor-El tells her how to defeat Zod, and you're like, man, would have just been smarter if Superman just had the conversation with his pops.
I mean, you know,
No, I don't
she
know.
had to meet the father-in-law. I guess had to have a conversation with
Yeah,
him.
well, I don't know
And
any of that.
connections.
Yeah, leave me alone.
Coffee.
Thanks for having my back, ETC. Wait, I'm only a child.
Wow. Again, yep.
So what else? Yeah, I don't know. You know, we're always gonna have good and bad, man. That's just the nature of it. If you go back to like what's the golden ages of cinema, you still had crap content. Maybe just less of
Yes,
it because
I
we're so
agree.
oversaturated now.
I agree. Yes, we had less crap content, but even with the crap content, I feel like it was still somewhat entertaining to a degree. Because I've watched a gang of zombie movies, a lot of them, a lot, even some horror stuff, and I've watched a lot of very bad zombie movies. But for the most part, I was able to stomach through it and like get through the content. There was very few that I was like, nah, never. Stopped at the first 5 minutes. I'm not even going to subject myself to this thing. But for the most part, like at least they were entertaining. And that's the thing is like at least be entertaining if you're going to be bad. Like you're going to be bad. You don't have the big budget, but that's also the problem because a lot of this stuff they have big budgets and they're still putting out crap.
Well, budget doesn't equate to better.
True.
I mean,
I'll give you that.
look at the Alien movie again. Not without its problems, but the Alien movie had a $80 million budget, which is a tremendous amount of money. Don't get me wrong, but when you consider the Deadpool movie had almost 300 million, You know, the Superman movie had 400 million. The Brandon Routh Superman movie had almost 400 million on it, something crazy like that. And these movies were, you know, boring. I will say this about the Brandon Routh Superman movie: it had a phenomenal set design. Like the production design for that film was gorgeous. I mean, the film was gorgeous, and it should have been. It had $400 million or $300 million behind it, you know. But it looked
Yeah.
great. It just not a good movie. Um. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I think the solution is. You know, I think maybe the solution is less voices on content tends to let that content get streamlined with a coherent vision. You know, and what happens right now, what we're watching is a ton of tentpole movies with $400 million, $300 million, $200 million budgets, and every one of those dollars is tied to someone who wants to have some kind of say in the thing. You know, I'm putting in $100 million. I want to have some. I want to feel like I'm involved. And the problem with that is, in a lot of cases, they aren't tapped into the content like that.
A lot. Look, I would say for a good portion of it. Like for example, Borderlands. I don't think any one of those actors has ever played Borderlands. In fact, I think the director himself said that he barely played Borderlands, if he played it at all. So it's almost like you don't even know the content that you're trying to put out there and what it's based off of. So how are you supposed to replicate this world?
Yes, and no. I mean, I agree with it because as an actor, I agree that you want information so you can make good choices. You know. However, also as an actor, at the end of the day, the only thing I really get to make certain choices off of is the script. You know, and that's
Mm,
why Peter Dinklage went on record going he'd never read a single book and he wasn't going to read a single book for Game of the Thrones. He's like, it's not the same. It's same story, yes, kind of, but I'm doing the cinematic version and I get a script every week, and that's where my character is. Now, I do think 100% whoever's writing the story needs to be
right,
immersed in it. Like whoever wrote the
right.
screenplay for the Borderlands movie should have played all the games, and the director should have immersed themselves in all the game content so you can
Right. Get the visuals right and everything like that. Yeah, absolutely.
absolutely.
Like the actors, I feel like they don't need to be like, so. For example, Borderlands. We're just gonna stay on that. They at the very least see how the characters act out, or how the characters act, so they can kind of somewhat emulate that to a degree, so they can kind of get the tone of that character.
Sure.
But I mean, when you go off and you just they just put you in the costume, they put the makeup on you, the wigs, and whatever the case may be, and you're just this whole other thing.
Yeah.
It's like this is not that's not rolling. That's not that's not
Well,
freaking claptrap.
yeah, that's actors not doing their homework, maybe, or it's directors telling them not to. You kind of some of that you don't know. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. There was something else I
I
wanted to
just had it.
go
We
ahead.
had a. I was going to talk about a couple of games too. I just had it and I lost it. There was one that Dustborn. I was talking to ETC about this last night, and I saw some things about Dustborn, and I was like, just the artwork itself didn't appeal to me, so I just ignored it. But this game released not too long ago to like 100 people playing this thing. I think on Steam he said it was like I think he said like 200 some odd people, or maybe 600 some odd people. Either way, it was a low number of people that came out to play this game, and it's because of just the creative route they were going with it, and also it was. I read a little bit more on it. The game was very buggy and glitchy, and that's a whole other thing too. We'll talk about that another time. Just games being released that are not finished, not complete, half. It's like remember going out, getting the game, taking it, pulling it out the box, throwing it in your system, playing the thing, and the thing, if it was bad, it was bad, but if it was good, it was great. And but all the time, it always worked, right? You didn't have a problem with it not playing right.
Yeah,
You didn't have to worry about a patch,
unless the machine
right?
itself was like,
And, and that's
and
a
then you
you
got blowing
problem,
the cartridge. So I don't know about that, Rich.
right?
I mean, these things notoriously.
Listen, no. Look, if I bought a new game for my not 64 or like the Nintendo,
Yeah.
I never had to blow in the cartridge for it. I had to blow in maybe in the game itself or the system itself, so they would get the little dust out. Yeah, but not the cartridge.
Yeah.
I could pop that bad boy in all day, every day, and it'd be good. Once it got older, yes, now we talking blowing out the cartridge, pause, and and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean that, and these games that's a different story. It's just wild that we're talking AAA studios that are putting these things out, and they have problems. It's like, what are we talking about here? They got problems, and then also they're sacrificing, just like in the movies, they're sacrificing a story, they're sacrificing the gameplay to try to push agendas and stories and narratives onto people. And this is like, come on, can I get a good game? Can we at least get a good game first? Let's get that developed first, and then worry about putting all your stuff in.
It's always,
Give me all that stuff in like DLC.
it's always got to come. For me, it has to come down to story and characters.
Yeah, 100%.
And a rare case is the Deadpool Wolverine movie where the story is kind of like meh, but the characters were great. So there's the switch there, right? Story and characters, story or characters. I mean, when you got both of them, then that's when you got really good film on your hands.
Yes.
I don't know, man. It happens. I mean, look at this though. Like Watchmen, Snyder's
Mhm.
Watchmen. The visual of that movie to me is gorgeous. I mean, Zack Snyder knew the content. Zack Snyder
Yes.
was having a love affair with the content. He understood the complexity of it. He understood the world of it, and all that is clear. It really went on screen, but I feel like somewhere along the way he missed the heartbeat of the characters. It's like he missed, from in my opinion, like he missed that. If Silk Spectre and Night Owl are killing petty criminals in the streets, then it totally takes away from Rorschach being over the edge, right? So who cares if Rorschach's killing people if all the other heroes are killing people? And so I go, well, Snyder missed that element of the content for me. Like, you missed the moral compass of these characters. Like, Silk Spectre and Night Owl aren't killing people in the comics. So I don't know why you chose to have them kill people and like violently break their arms off and rip bones out of them and stab them in the neck in an alley fight scene when they could have easily just kind of dispatched them. And so here's an example where I can't make the same argument that with like the Borderland people. Like, I know that these actors and the director immersed themselves in the world of the graphic novel. Clearly they understood it, and they still made choices that didn't make any damn sense to me, right? And so but they knew they were making the best movie that ever been made. That's what they were trying to do. And I think that most artistic directors and storytellers and actors and filmmakers and content creators, they really do want to make great content. They want to make great content that services the fans and services the art. The flip side of that is this is a machine, and the machine has to grease the wheels and make that money in order to keep moving forward. And when it doesn't, it falls apart,
The flip side to that is the Acolyte, and we're just talking shows that are skinwalkers to the original IPs. Okay. Anyway, listen, that was a good talk. I wish we could go on a little bit longer. I wish the other two guys were here. Who are those guys again? Lawrence and Chris.
The Saint Victors.
The Saint Victors. It's them Saint Victors, man. It's when they're good, they're good. When they're not, they're just not. You know what? We ain't even gonna go there. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. We are going on to the main event, ladies and gentlemen, and that is Rick and Morty, the anime. And I totally forgot all about this stuff, but here we are. Just good conversations. That's why. Like every time me and Jack get together, it's always a good time. Secretly, we hate each other though.
Do we? I didn't know that. I guess it is a secret.
Drama, you know.
News
You gotta
to
get
me.
drama in there. I'm trying to be an actor.
We're trying to get our views up.
Yeah. So we got Rick and Morty.
What's on your shirt, you jerk?
Well, here you go, you bozo. It's just a T-Rex with a grabber, and it says, "I am unstoppable."
That's actually
what you got? Oh, you got Darkwing Duck on you. Let me see what you got there, Bucko.
Let's get
yeah. All right. Yeah. So Rick and Morty, the anime. So this but let's go spoiler free, I guess, and then we'll just jump right into it. This is different.
Oh, good. I thought it was just me.
Yeah, this is different, and it didn't go the way I was expecting it to. And that's about as spoiler free as I'm gonna get.
Here's my spoiler free. So Rick and Morty the anime, I followed it, but after 2 episodes, I couldn't tell you I understood what they were trying to do with it.
Yeah.
And you know, Corey just said something in the chat. He said, I've never seen a single episode of Rick or Morty. Okay. That's the part of the comments I'll talk about. He's never seen a single episode. And this should be standalone content that is enriched by anyone who has seen a single episode. And it's not that either. Spoiler free. If you haven't seen any Rick and Morty, you're not going to understand this. And if you have seen Rick and Morty, I don't know that you understand it any better. That's right. That's my spoiler free. So,
all right, let's just jump in. I don't even know if oh my god, where can I begin with this? I want to recap it, but it's also like, what? Like, for those who watch Rick and Morty, you understand that they go on wild adventures, and sometimes the stories kind of mold into each other at times, but it all ties together at the end, right? And it kind of just makes sense, and it's a fun ride. This was just at times boring and confusing. I didn't understand. Like, I had subtitles on and also the English dub, and I'm sitting like, either one of this language, I was like, who wrote this? What are they trying to do with this? It's like they took essence of Rick and Morty, they wrapped it, they skinwalkered it, they wrapped it in a Rick and Morty skin suit and said, "Hey."
It didn't feel very anime. It didn't feel anime either.
Like at one point, at the first episode, when Morty was in the game, the virtual reality game where he was like living different lives, you kind of got anime elements from that when he was getting into that fight scene, that alley fight scene that just went on forever at times.
Well, what was going on was, all right. So for those of you watching, we're talking about Rick and Morty, the anime, which dropped 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks.
So episode 2 just came out. So we're talking about episode 1 and 2, and the kind of backdrop of it is it's a multiverse thing, and Rick is somewhere off in the multiverse fracture of time, nowhere verse, on like vacation sipping Mai Tais or something in a spaceship. He's made a device for Morty. Morty is like sorta art online. He's in a virtual game. He's kind of stuck in, but the virtual game is also reality, right? And
Yeah,
the
something.
virtual game has multiple realities also playing out in real time. That's why we get Morty's in like a blue suit is like Morty Prime, I think. Then you got red suit Morty, yellow. He's got Huey, Dewey, and Louie colors. He's got a
Yes,
love
yes.
interest. His mom is his mom in one dimension, but we're in like six other dimensions simultaneously. It's very confusing, but she's also a space fighter in another dimension. And so it's like the content to me felt so disjointed. I couldn't tell you what I honestly thought the story was, right?
I After 2 episodes, I still don't know. I know the Federation came and picked up Rick, right? So there was well, at least a version of Rick,
Right.
but then there's another version of Rick who might be the prime Rick, the main Rick, who's fighting another version of himself.
And you can only tell them apart by a slight shade distinction of their t-shirts.
And one of them had longer hair.
Slightly longer.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what are we doing? Well, what are we fighting for? Like, what is happening? And I was even more into that in episode 2 when they really started fighting. And now they weren't just fighting every time they hit each other now. And this is something that they never expressed in any of the Rick and Mortys. But now when they make contact with each other, they now shift in different realities, different multiverses without the portal gun. So it's like, why? And they make note of that. It's like, oh, we shift realities without a portal gun is because our bodies came into contact. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, but they always made contact with each other for the most part. And on top of that, they killed each other. They killed, if they had to go to take over another universe, they killed the Rick and Morty of that universe and buried them. There's never been a shift in reality. And these it was just, I don't know, man. I was just all over the place with it. I'm like,
Well, you weren't
what am I
all over the
watching?
place. They were all over the place.
They were, yeah. I was like, what am I actually watching right now? Like, this is not Rick and Morty. Like, they they dropped the ball on this one. They could have made something dope, and they really did not.
But I didn't feel like the art style was that anime.
Yeah, it was. And that was another issue I had with it. It kind of shifted. It kind of shifted between like kind of anime-ish, cartoony, but like trying to play on the Rick and Morty style. And then they also went like 3D, yeah, like a three, like a R, what is it, the RGB, I forgot the name of that, the one that they put like Justice League in and stuff like that y'all don't like.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did that on episode 2 with Space Mom, Space Beth, and she was fighting Birdman's daughter, for those who don't watch it. But anyway, then they kind of shifted to that animation style with that whole plot, I
Well, that's
guess.
another thing. Like
And
if you don't watch Rick and Morty, this content is impossible to understand.
yeah, you're not going to know
You
who's
might
who.
you might understand what's going on, but you're not going to understand who anyone is or why they're doing whatever they're doing.
Yeah,
Like this is
yeah.
not a standalone.
No, you definitely have to be in the universe of Rick and Morty. You have to watch the shows, each season at that, because they pull a little bit out of every season to put into this thing. You need to understand who the Federation is, Birdman's daughter, and why she's a bad guy, and just everything. Space Beth or Space Mom,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call her. You got to understand why she's there, and then the other one's here. Like you definitely need to watch Rick and Morty in order to understand, just to even follow what's going on in this thing. And even after all that, you're still going to be confused. Like, why? What is happening here? Why is all this happening? How is all this connected? And I, I don't even know if they're even going to tie this up and come into the end of this. I don't even know if I'm going to be here for the end of it. I think this might be.
So are you coming back?
I don't think I'm coming back to this. Like,
I
I
don't
was
think I'm coming back either.
I was definitely disappointed in this thing. I was like, man, what am I watching? Like, what did they do? Oh, it's just certain things, man. I don't know. It just all over the place. All over the place. I'm still trying to put it together in my head. Like, just a fight scene in the alleyway with Rick. I'm sorry, with Morty, and he was fighting the same monsters, kind of, with the same gang, but then different monsters each time.
But it wasn't the same Morty. It was Huey, Dewey, and Louie Mortys.
Right, Huey, Dewey, and Louie Morty, and then they followed on top of that where he became old and he kind of had like a love interest with a dude.
Well, what was the
Because each
point
time,
of his head in a ball?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
the dragon tear or dragon sweat.
Oh, yeah, he was getting different things each time, but they were different. They were called. There was like I guess,
But it was the same thing.
It was the same thing, yes, but like different names at times. But it was always the same thing.
Is there
I
any
have no idea.
significance to that in the Rick and Morty series?
I don't think so. Not unless there was something with the dragon. I don't remember them making reference to the dragon's tears or anything like that. It could have just been like, what do they call it? A MacGuffin of some sort.
It's
that they
it's a
focused
big
on.
one in this one.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
prefer raspberry jelly.
I'm sorry. What?
Keep going. That's for the chat.
Okay. But yeah, this thing was just
This
all
reaction.
over here. It was just man, I just couldn't follow it. I was like, I'm not sure what's happening right now. I was genuinely confused. I'm like,
Well,
maybe I
why?
should watch it again. And I'm like,
No.
I don't think I should do this again.
So I don't think I'm gonna go back either. I didn't enjoy it enough to be okay with being as confused as I was.
Right.
And it wasn't like I was confused. Like I said, I understood who the characters were. I understood what was going on. I followed that. I just had no idea why. It's like, why is anything happening? Oh, why are things happening is an important question for content creators to know and to make it somewhat evident for an audience. S is in the house. She says, raspberry jelly?
Yeah, that was my response too. I was
Well,
now I have to go back and read the comments.
Go back and read the comments. Your peanut butter, Rich. Raw,
Rich's
crunchy
peanut butter. You know, I like Corey's definition of me, or explanation of me. Yes, I am raw, as you can tell by the way I speak. I try to be processed and be smooth with it, but I'm not like these guys. I have to give it to them raw. Pause.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. This I'm not coming back to this. I don't even think I want to rate this. I'm just not coming back to this thing.
Well, we can't really rate it after 2 episodes, but
That's
return
true,
or
too.
not return, I guess neither one of us is gonna finish it. So, if anyone watching this in the future finishes the series, let us know if we missed anything.
Doubt it.
Hey, man,
Corey's saying we should watch Moon Girl. Is what?
Yes, we
Moon
know
Girl's a
that.
thing?
We know that. But Moon Girl is also being discontinued. Moon Girl
is
and
it?
The Acolyte not getting another season.
How many episodes or how many seasons did Moon Girl get?
2, 3. Corey, how many
man.
seasons did Moon Girl get? 3?
They had a decent run.
Maybe just 1.
Moon Girl seasons. Season 1, 2. Just 2.
2. So no 3rd.
I mean, listen, it's a 13-year-old super genius accidentally brings a 10-ton Tyrannosaurus Rex devil dinosaur into the present devil dinosaur.
Yeah,
okay.
pretty great content, Rich.
All right. Into present day New York City via a time vortex. They work together to protect the city's lower east, just the lower east side. They're Daredevil pretty much. Daredevil and Spider-Man. Only these few block radius.
You know,
I can't leave.
The Lower East Side is very well protected. Well, the Lower East Side. Hell's Kitchen is the West Side.
Well, I'm not being specific on which side is which. I'm just saying they're at a certain block radius.
New
of
York
what they
has
protect.
probably the highest volume of superheroes for sure.
They do. They have what? The Avengers there. They got Fantastic Four. Like
Spider-Man.
Just those 2 towers right there. I'd have been like, I'm not doing crime here. I'm gonna go like 3 states over. Like what?
Also, different but freaking who's the isn't Nightwing have his like backup cave is in the cloisters in like Inwood, Manhattan?
I think so.
So you got even DC's got Manhattan taken care of.
Yeah, you got you got the you got Xavier and his crew over in Westchester,
That's
not too
right. Yeah,
far
I
away.
wouldn't
Like,
go
come on.
anywhere near this. Yeah, New York
Like,
is
no,
like East Coast. You good. You good.
I'm gonna go to Texas. Man, I have a better chance with everyone with a gun rather than dealing with the X-Men over here and their mutants. But yeah, that was pretty
Yeah,
short.
good talk.
Good talk indeed. I don't have any recommendations. I don't know if you do.
Okay,
If you don't,
recommendations. Let's see. Recommendations. Well, let's put it to the group chat. We want recommendations for spin-off series that are worth checking out. So like Kite Man might be a recommendation. If you liked Harley Quinn, Kite Man is
Kite
a
Man's
spin-off
entertaining.
series.
I
And
did enjoy this last episode.
Connie Alaska in the house. You've been quiet this show,
Uh,
Connie Alaska. Peach preserves. No, but I do like peach cobbler.
Fun fact:
Fun fact.
I don't.
You don't like peach cobbler?
I'm not a peach cobbler guy. I'm just not. I'm just not.
Oh.
You know what I do like? I do like a good apple fritter. My grandmother used to make some great apple fritters. So good, I almost died.
Like
Let me
literally?
tell you, like literally, I was eating them, and sometimes the corners get a little crispy and hard, and I didn't chew it all the way through. Got stuck in my throat. 100% saw my life flash before my eyes. I was like, I got it down. I thought I was going to die. I'll do it again. All right, they were great.
Man. Yeah, apple fritters are what's up. All right, so that's our recommendations: apple fritters and peach cobbler. Maybe not together at
Moon
the same
Girl
time.
and Devil Dinosaur, maybe not. I mean, get a little ice cream in between them, separate them a little bit, and eat them separately.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, good talk. I always enjoy this. And I always enjoy you guys coming in and joining in the conversation. Listen, hit that like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friend to tell a friend. Also, go hug someone that you love and tell them that you love them.
Oh,
And yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Same bad time.
save that channel.
Oh wow,
Peace.
that was something.
Yo.